Watch this one when you walk from dusk till dawn. Don't you see that Sahara and Corona gone? Why don't you go to Script of Virtue and order yourself a book? Get yourself a journal, no man. Or even get a book for your children. Their number is 876-367-7413. Or you can go to their business site at scriptofvirtue.business.site. Shaman!
Hello world, it's your psalmist Shavannah Chambers from out of Portmore, Jamaica, representing for Lady Tracey. Woman of God, continue to keep up the good work for the Lord. You are blessed and highly favored. A money magnet and more, full of power, full of virtue for the work of God. And so may the Lord, the joy of the Lord is your strength, and may He continue to bless, to keep, and to prosper you in all your way. Hallelujah. Let the Lord be magnified. Let He enlarge your territory as how He did with Jabez. Hallelujah. I said we serve a mighty God. And so I thank God for your life. I thank God for your ministry, and also for the soul that you have been blessing the people of God with. Continue to keep up the good work, my sister. Much love. Walk good. And continue to be that beacon that wins souls for the kingdom of God. God bless you in abundance. Amen and amen.
Lady Grace. Recently I met a lady called Grace. She speaks knowledge and wisdom to her young and illustrates honor over her household. The fear of the Lord is hidden in her heart, for God strengthens her. Rivalry is poison to her pot. Instead of partaking it, she nourishes her children with the fruits of the Spirit. Grace performs much faithfulness as instruction lives on her tongue. She pays close attention to the business of her house and does not commune with the deception of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband loves her, praises her, and clothes her with the ornaments of completeness. Because of Grace, he is respected among a lot. Many women do noble things, but Grace surpasses them all. This daughter of Zion demonstrates such great kindness. She values servanthood. There are 4 enmities that are far from Grace's table. These are her old neighbor bitterness. Bitterness was quite destructive. She even tried to ruin Grace's children. Then one day Grace moved from that neighborhood and she has never gone back. She does not dwell on the past or drains in sorrow from her mistakes. And even when torn out of her book, instead of clothing up her days with them, she practices the tool of meditation and supplication. The second foe is anger. Anger was very controlling. No matter how she tried to make her own choices, that opposition always have a way getting around her. Until one day, Grace got a bright idea. If I become real passive to aggression, anger will eventually go away, she thought. Her words danced in moderation as her thoughts became clear. Now, Grace's lips are filling with the truth and purity. She no longer says things that she regrets. She thinks before she speaks and ponders before she acts. In the sole of Grace's sandals, there is a labeled mark, peace and unity. Oh, how she loves this footwear. Everywhere she goes, she sports it. She swaps impulsiveness at the factory for a thread and a needle, and sometimes would pay a visit to the mill for a fresh wardrobe of praise. Nowadays, Grace wears a smile that boosts anyone up that passes her way. Then you have unforgiveness. She remembers the days when her father used to say, "Gracie, Let God take care of your enemies while you try to take care of your heart. And when Grace would ask him what that means, he would only say, just keep it healthy. It was confusing then, but now she gets it. She has a bunch of admirers who cannot seem to stay away. Out of her heart flows limited issue, as her belly is usually packed with living water and powered with the Holy Spirit. Grace whispers love in the morning and love in the evening. Then late at night, she covers it over her children with a warm blanket and a kiss. Each day, she walks in the park of gratitude and stretches on the plank of hopefulness. Modern men stand silently in awe because of the rare treasure that they see in Lady Grace. Lastly, pride, proudness, and selfishness. I have to say, she struggled to defend this triplet. Less of me, Father, and more of thee, she would whisper at her bedside. Make me a servant of your kingdom, for as your handmaid I desire to become a part of the fold. On and on, Grace would proceed. I really can't do it by myself. Please lend me your mercy, Father. Let Grace mature. Then suddenly, Grace knows not how to scorn the poor. Better yet, they start to dine around her table. She would prepare their favorite dish and wash their worn-out feet with her hair. Early she would rise with wisdom in her eyes to heal the sick and comfort the lonely. When they see her, they would run to meet that hope and wrap their weary arms around Grace's garment. Over and over, the secret would leak into the streets the minute a stranger would walk in. Then shortly after, a testimony would echo. I have met a virtuous woman, and she invited me for tea within the comfort of her family. Finally, Grace has pressed past her image, her mask, her thorns, and mingled with even the unknown. Each night when her duty is done and all the kids are fast asleep, she would sit at the bedside and she would write. This one specific night, after she said her last words to the Lord, a thought came to her. She took up her journal and then she wrote, My sisters, we are daughters who were called by grace. We are born to carry the burdens of the earth, but the truth is we are no longer the burden bearer. For our faithful husbandman, the King of Kings, chose to bear them for us. Numerously, he fights on our behalf and stands in the gap. He offers up our petition no matter how unladylike they may seem. Then he would lead us with a diligent and faithful heart. Can you remember at least one night when he dried your tears? I can. In his eyes, we are not just brides of honor and daughters of virtue, but we are hands down the apple of his eye. So henceforth, let no man trouble us. My beloved sisters, let us be zealous to honor our husband. Let our lifestyle worship our King. Love, laugh, serve, dance, and live heartily. Feed the soul and feed it with good food. Let peace be our shoe and righteousness our apparel. For we will wear a crown, moreover, for the good name of our Father, Lord, and our friend. Let us model grace.
Want to learn to play music with a revolutionary musical experience? K-Don Music Academy offers online and face-to-face lessons for piano, guitar, drum set, violin, viola, cello, voice, saxophone, trumpet, flute, and music theory. Call 876-442-2721. That's 876-442-2721. Visit our Facebook page at K-Don Music Academy and follow us on Instagram at K-Don Music Academy 1. Experience the power of music. K-Don, K-Don Music Academy. Register now.
Peace, peace, perfect peace. In this dark world of fear, my heart will stay on Him. Peace, peace, perfect peace. He has set His love on me, I will rejoice. Peace, peace, perfect peace. When there's a casting down, I will say there's a lifting up. Peace, peace, perfect peace. All the glory belongs to Him who is my peace. Oh, peace, 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 perfect peace. In this dark world of sin, my heart will stay on Him. When there's a casting down, I will say there's a lifting up. Oh, peace. All the glory belongs. Hey, who has broken down every wall? Every one of my enemies He conquered all. By His abundant grace I'm standing tall. And yes, He's God over all. My peace I leave with you, peace not as the world gives. All the glory belongs to Him who is my peace. Even in the midst of your troubles, You have won the battle. And even when the storms of life come raging, just know you're not forsaken. When it feels like your knees have gone feeble, He'll give you wings like an eagle. Oh, peace, perfect peace. Peace, peace, perfect peace.
Every day of my life, You keep blessing me.
It's also on the beat.
Great is the mercy of our Lord God. Ever since we were young and fell off hard, You've raised and protected us from all harm. We're just trying to give some of that glory back with this one song. Even when we get so busy and we don't hear, Your voice calls out to us so clear. And when You're by my side, I will not fear. I promise even to my old age I will keep You near. Every day of my life, You keep blessing me. Every day of my life, You keep blessing me. Every day of my life, You keep blessing me. Every day of my life, You keep blessing me. You keep on blessing me. You I can never repay the love shown to me. For the rest of my life, I'll serve you daily. I will honor your name and praise you always. You keep on blessing me, you keep on guiding me, you keep on strengthening me, you keep on loving me, you keep on blessing me. Yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. Faithful God, my gracious God, keep on strengthening me. Yes, you keep on loving me. You keep on blessing. Oh, yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. Keep on guiding. Faithful God, my gracious God, keep on strengthening me. Yes, you keep on loving me. You keep on blessing. Oh, yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. Keep on guiding. Faithful God, my gracious God, keep on strengthening me. Yes, he does. Yes, you keep on loving me. You keep on blessing. Oh, yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. Keep on guiding. Faithful God, my gracious God, keep on strengthening me. Yes, he does. Yes, you keep on loving me. You keep on blessing. Yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. Faithful God, my gracious God, keep on strengthening me. Yes, he does. Yes, you keep on loving me. You keep on blessing me. You keep on guiding me. You keep on strengthening me. You keep on loving me. You keep on blessing me. You keep on guiding me. You keep on strengthening me. You keep on loving me.
Walking me out, taking my time. This is the story of my life. I love you. I love you. I'm walking the aisle, here comes the bride. I will marry you tonight. I love you. I love you. I look to the right, see sadness in her eyes. Guess I'm taking someone's child, but I love you. I love you. Oh, please tell me I'm dreaming. Why she just won't believe in this love. The moment has arrived, please take me by your side. I'll be in your arms till the storm passes by. I love you. I love you. We'll be two hearts into one now. I hope she lets go when she hears my vows. I love you. I love you. Oh, please tell me I'm dreaming. I know I made her believe in this love. Kyle, we've been together for many years. My eyes have withstood many tears. You've proven your love to me. So today, we're celebrating our love. We are free. I thank your mother. She's the reason you're in my arms. Kyle, nothing can break us apart. I'll kiss my man, I'm feeling happy inside. I'll wipe the tears from your mama's eyes, 'cause I love you. I love you. I spent my whole life loving you, my child. Today I know you made up your mind.
in my eyes hasn't gone nowhere. Shining so bright, everybody can tell. Oh, oh, oh. 'Cause when I think of you, yeah, my heart goes wild. The best of the best, and I get to call you mine. Oh, oh, oh. I could go to Mexico, France, or Panama, but nowhere in the world can make me feel like yeah when you call me your Bella. I know I'm your mija, love being your daughter. I'm your princessa, thanks for being my puppy. Every hour I need thee, 'cause no other baba could love me so dearly. I'm your Bella, I'm your mija, I'm your Binti, I'm your Zanmi, your princesa, petite fille. You're my papi and I'm your girl. There will never be a boy as good as you, no matter how rich, no matter how cute. Oh no, oh, oh no. But I know someday some boy gonna try, and if he love you, then he gonna treat me right. Oh, oh, oh. I could be in the Philippines, Haiti or Kenya, but nowhere in the world can make me feel like yeah when you call me your Bella. I know I'm your mija, love being your daughter, always your filia. Thanks for being my puppy. Every hour I need thee, 'cause no other baba could love me so dearly. Gracias, mi papi. No one can love me like you love me. Escribí hasta counting just to tell you what I mean. Cuando todo cae, I know I'll be alright. Porque siempre me amas, I love being your daughter. No me dejarás, no never me amarás. Forever, forever, I could go anywhere in the world.
What's up, guys? Jamie Grace here. And this is
Aaron Collins.
And this is Isabella.
You call me your Bella, I know I'm your mija, love being your daughter, always your filia. Thanks for being my puppy. Every hour I need thee, 'cause no other baba could love me so dearly. I am your Bella, I'm your mija, I'm your Binti, I'm your Zanmi, your princesa, petite fille. You're my daddy and I'm your girl.
Are you looking for a place to stay when you are in Jamaica? Well, look no more. It's the ultimate freedom bed and breakfast. Beagles Drive, Brighton, Santa Cruz.
Come along, I make we have some nice time tonight.
It's the place that offers somewhere to stay with a difference. You wake up in the morning with the smell of our Jamaican style breakfast. Single occupancy, $65, double $85, and 3 people, just $110. Call us today, 416-301-2698, 1-876-997-6589, 1-876-840-5144, or visit our website ultimatefreedombnb.com or email us at ultimatefreedomjamaica@gmail.com. It's the ultimate freedom bed and breakfast. Beagles Drive, Brighton, Santa Cruz, Jamaica. It's the place that customers come first.
Come along, slow and easy.
sun was shining. I felt so low in my spirit. In my pain I was drowning. But God saw something in me, restored my life and set me free. Now I can see the sunshine. I can't believe this is me. I'm above all my troubles. I'm above all my pain. I'm above all my past, and my life will never be the same again. I'm above all my troubles. I'm above all my pain. I'm above all my past, and my life will never be the same again. Many didn't have faith in me. Couldn't blame them, never knew I could achieve. Sometimes I wonder how I made it through those nights. I'm just thanking God I'm alive. I'm not crazy cause I talk to the homeless. I know their pain cause that was my test. Now I'm like an eagle soaring high above my sleepless nights and all the tears I cry. All the troubles, all the pain, all the past, and my life will never be the same again. I'm above all my troubles. I'm above all my pain. I'm above all my past, and my life will never be the same again. I'm gonna share my testimony, what the Lord has done for me. He take me to a higher place, and now I'm free. Hallelujah. Like a bird I am free. No more I, but the Christ in me. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. Can't go back. I am above. You are above. We all are above. Hallelujah. I'm above. I'm above. I'm above. I'm above. Life will never be the same. Will never be the same. Yeah. My life will never be the same again. I'm above. Like an eagle, flying, never be the same. Can't go back, never go back.
Right about now, we are to go into some beautiful, beautiful interviews. I'm talking about some awesome people over there in USA, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, they will be here to share their story anywhere. Right about now, we're about to go into some interviews. Don't touch that dial. We are back with our radio interview, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Lady Tracey Show. And we have a special guest out of Dallas, Texas. This gentleman is a founder and a business owner of The Right Perspective LLC. He is also a graduate of University of Texas at Dallas with a bachelor in speech language pathology and child development. I'm talking about the man Aaron Fields. Mr. Fields is here with us today, and we want to hear a little bit about his work and also the inspiration behind this beautiful book that he has going on viral, Never Doubt Yourself. So welcome, Mr. Fields. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I greatly appreciate you inviting me on. It's definitely an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. How is Texas going in this timing?
It's not too bad, but I'm sure you kind of hear the old saying about the Texas weather. One minute it's snowing, and then the next day it's bright and sunny, and then the very next day raining and it's cloudy. So when it comes to Texas, you really never know what you're going to get.
Are you serious? I didn't know there was snow in Texas. Thank you for that information. I did not know. All right. So now let's hear about Mr. Fields. Who is Aaron Fields?
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's a really good question. I'm not really a big proponent on really saying much about myself, but usually, really to sum it all up, I usually just kind of start off by telling a little bit about myself when it comes to understanding myself. Of course, I reside in Dallas, Texas, but I definitely grew up in a place called Baytown, which is a little bit south of Houston. And really just growing up as a kid, always moving back and forth. My family and I were going back and forth from Dallas to Houston. Of course, when it comes to staying with family and things like that. But after a while, it got to the point where we moved so many times, we all decided as a family, okay, we moved several times back and forth from Dallas to Baytown. Let's just go ahead and just pick one city we can just stay in for quite a bit of time. And we eventually just decided to stick with Dallas. And of course, during my 8th grade year of Dallas, that was where I finished up middle school, and I went to high school as well. And once I finished up high school, it ultimately led to college. But when it comes to myself and my family, I tell people all the time I'm very blessed and extremely fortunate to grow up with the family that I was born into. Of course, having both a wonderful mother and a wonderful father, and just growing up in a 2-parent household, which is something you don't see very often, unfortunately. So I consider myself very blessed and lucky for that part. And then also, just to make things more interesting, I was very fortunate to grow up with grandparents, as well as my nana, my grandfathers on both sides of the family. And then also, to make things even more interesting, I was very fortunate to have an older brother by the name of Norman. And then, of course, there's myself as a middle child, and very fortunate to have a younger brother by the name of Chad. And then also, we're very fortunate to have a younger sister by the name of Victoria. So really, to sum it all up, the family, we're extremely close. We talk to each other all the time. We're always with each other. And I'm a big proponent of family is everything. And our family atmosphere is so strong. It's gotten to the point now where we're real strong and close with our cousins as well. So to me, it feels like another set of siblings. So I think when it comes to my upbringing, it leads to just kind of who I am as a person. So of course, I can go all day with my family and things like that, but very blessed and fortunate to grow up in the environment that I grew up in.
Thank you, Aaron. I believe that's a great example for our society today, and you are on a great path. You know, you guys doing such a good work from the home. I mean, that's the whole idea of helping others, especially children, right? Especially the inner city, the juvenile facilities that you're doing there. Thank you for sharing. And I would assume that with your mobilization, this led you to support schools and prisons and, everywhere while you're traveling, right?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely correct.
Good. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your work as what would you say now? A outreach advocate?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah, definitely. So really, and you kind of hit the nail on the coffin. You're right on point when you said a lot of it stems from my upbringing and my family. And like I said, with me being very blessed and fortunate to grow up with a strong family that I grew up in, it was able to lead to me becoming a better individual in every aspect of my life, because my family was able to help and teach me many different principles and values that will help me as an individual. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I've noticed growing up around my peers, unfortunately, they didn't have the things that I had. For example, growing up in a 2-parent household, as well as from a man's standpoint, some of them not growing up with fathers as well, too. I was very lucky to have a father. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, I noticed that a lot of my peers didn't have some of the things that I had. So that led to me already kind of brainstorming and just thinking, what is it that is missing? Now, even though I noticed it at a young age, I couldn't put my finger quite on it yet, because I was still in the process of figuring that out. Mm-hmm. But of course, as I got older, once we realized, when people act a certain way, whenever they do certain things, or there are certain beliefs and philosophies on a number of things, I realized that a lot of this stems from their upbringing and just some of the things that they were taught, as well as some of the things that they weren't taught. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, that led to me creating that business, the right perspective when it comes to me writing books and doing outreach and doing public speaking events. Because one thing that I realized is that, in life, we're we're good at teaching people how to do like science experiments. We're good at teaching people how to drive a car. Mm-hmm. We're good at teaching people how to do like operations and stuff like that. But I noticed that when it comes to the basic components or the basic concepts of life, mm-hmm. a lot of us don't really know the answers to those things.
That's
and
true.
Over the years, yes, ma'am, definitely. And over the years, I've seen a number of people ask other people about basic concepts of life, like, how do you manage time? But a lot of people didn't know the answer to that because they themselves, they didn't know how to manage time. Or maybe when someone is talking about how to maintain a healthy relationship or how to budget, a lot of people are speechless because they themselves, they don't know how to budget or they don't know how to maintain healthy relationships. So after a while, I realized a lot of people were asking these different types of questions because they just weren't taught anything.
Exactly.
And you know how that goes.
That's right.
Yeah, at some point, whenever people are not, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what I'm saying is at the end of the day, relationship is important, right? And you have to first build relationship with others in order to grow. So what you're saying is exactly right. But quickly, Aaron, do you have a actual testimony, or have you ever find it difficult in dealing with juvenile facilities and prisons as a mentor or outreach advocate?
That's a good question. So yes and no. And I will say it's fairly easy making a connection with the kids that are in the juvenile facility because making that strong connection is very helpful. And, kids are very smart. If they see someone who's really trying to help them and they're authentic, then it's easy for them to bring that mentor in to help them out with certain things. So that was never really an issue with me. The main issue was just really maybe perhaps getting other people on board or maybe working with other people, especially when it comes to adults who often when you're working with kids and you start hearing about some of the personal issues that they have with their families or anyone that's in their environment, that's something you got to help them overcome as well. So when it comes to me making that connection, it's not really much of an issue. The major issue that I usually have is just whatever kind of issues that kid is going through and just helping him or her overcome those things.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you, Aaron. All right, now let's get to the book because we only have a few more time to go.
Okay.
That beautiful book with that lovely chocolate color boy on the cover, Never Doubt Yourself. Can you just tell us about this awesome book?
Oh, yes, ma'am, most definitely. So it's definitely a children's book. And then, of course, really what stemmed from me making this book is that I realized that whenever you're working with kids, there's a lot of young kids that are very gifted, very talented, extremely smart and intelligent. But unfortunately, a lot of them start to doubt themselves whenever they hit a few stumbling blocks in life. And of course, hitting stumbling blocks in life, that's definitely normal for everyone. And I tell kids all the time, you should never doubt yourself, no matter the situation. Now, of course, you don't want to be arrogant about it or look down on others, but you should definitely never doubt yourself, no matter how hard the situation is.
Wow.
I think it's always good for a child to overcome any trials, tribulations, or any level of travail in their life so that way they can be able to proceed.
Wow. I have one confession, Aaron. When I was looking at your work, I was like, I think this man is talking to me. Because I mean, I'm not a child, but at the same time, I could just, sense that this was a positive, title and it really would reach out to anyone. And I think that you really did a great job in answering this call in, helping children to get themselves positively motivated in whatever they're doing. So if persons want to get Never Doubt Yourself, where can they go and what's the price for this beautiful children book?
Yes, ma'am. So you can definitely get the book at twperspective.com. You can always definitely Google it because that's my website. And it has a list of many other book collections, but it's definitely on there. And of course, you can get it. I have it right now priced at $6.50, of course, plus the tax. So that's going to end up being around $10 to $11. But it's definitely a good book to invest in. So that way you can be able to read to children. And whoever's reading that book to children, they themselves as the adult can be able to learn those things from this book as well. So it's definitely a good book to get.
Awesome. Now, one thing before you go, Aaron, I want you to just give a advice to our young readers or listeners or anyone that's going through a rough time today. Before you go, just give a few advice for us.
Oh, most definitely. So one thing that I'll say to the audience is that, in life, there's always going to be issues and some of us you're going to face in life. But I tell people all the time, as long as you're able to create a vision and just see things all the way through, life is definitely going to get a lot better for you. I just tell people all the time, just develop a healthy perspective and always try to look at the positive side for everything that you're doing, even though there's going to be stumble blocks and issues that you'll go through. But stay the course, continue to have faith, and always have confidence in yourself. And I think you'll be just fine.
So there you have it, listeners. Mr. Aaron Fields over there in Texas, Dallas, Texas, or author or early childhood consultant or educator, and of course, or speaker. Mr. Fields was with us to share his beautiful book on our platform.
Are you looking for a place to stay when you are in Jamaica? Well, look no more. It's the ultimate freedom bed and breakfast. Beagles Drive, Brighton, Santa Cruz.
Come along, I make we have some nice time tonight.
It's the place that offers somewhere to stay with a difference. You wake up in the morning with the smell of our Jamaican style breakfast. Single occupancy, $65, double $85, and 3 people, just $110. Call us today, 416-301-2698, 1-876-997-6589, 1-876-840-5144, or visit our website ultimatefreedombnb.com, or email us at ultimatefreedomjamaica@gmail.com. It's the ultimate freedom bed and breakfast. Beagles Drive, Brighton, Santa Cruz, Jamaica. It's the place that customers come first.
Come along, slow and easy.
And we have an exciting guest today, and I'm talking about our lovely book author. She is also a sailor and an entertainer over there in New York, USA. She is indeed here today to share with you a bit about the untold histories, from our book, the things that I am sure no one else knows. So you are a privilege today to be with us and to hear the Lady Elsie Tang. So we welcome you, Lady Elsie Tang. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me as your guest, Miss Lady Tracey.
It is a pleasure. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are?
Okay, well, Lindsay Tang is the character in my book. And I was born an artist and blessed with many gifts, which includes painting, playing musical instruments, working in the film industry. And as an artist, I brought my passion into the cruise industry, which gave me the opportunity to take courage to lose sight of the shore. And working in the entertainment department in the cruise industry over the many years turned me into a hardcore sailor, as it opened doors for me to discover how removing inhibitions and fear of the unknown can lead to a whole world of possibilities and adventures. And with my life experiences on land and at sea, I was able to pen my story into this book titled The Untold Tales of a Sailor at Sea, which has enabled me to add the title author to my repertoire.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right. Now, I've read your book and I am excited about what I saw. And I also want to ask quickly about chapter 1. When you started out, it was really an excited but questioning journey for you. And I noticed, you were so excited about the new path that you took. But can you just tell us a little bit about your experience when you just started out as a crew member?
Well, starting as a crew member was filled with excitement, as you said, but I had no idea what to expect other than my experience as a passenger. Because I sailed as a passenger for a number of years before I decided to join in the industry as a crew member. It was a wonderful experience until I came across some challenges that I discussed in chapter 1.
Okay.
And it continues throughout the book, yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. So why did you write your book? And who are your targets?
Well, I wrote this book so that people have a better understanding of the cruise industry and the life of a crew member, and to have a clear picture of what happens on the cruise ship. My story is meant to give a crew member a voice and to have their story heard. My book is also meant to encourage the cruise industry to make some changes to improve the life of a working crew member by addressing challenges discussed in my book, such to include working hours, quality, food, and discrimination. So the targeted audience is anybody who's interested in traveling, the cruise industry, and the crew member.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lindsay. What advice do you give to persons who are interested in working on a cruise ship based on your experience?
Well, I believe that life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, and some are exciting. But if you never turn the page, you'll never know what the next chapter has in store for you. So if one has a passion and desire, go chase your dream. If your desire is to work in the cruise industry, by all means go for it and give it all you have and aim to complete the entire contract and resolve to learn something from that experience. I say forge ahead with resilience and an attitude to complete the contract with courage despite all the challenges of the cruise industry. My challenges I outline are depicted in the chapters throughout the book. And if you are interested in working in the cruise industry, then I say read this book as it provides a glimpse into the life of a crew member and the entire industry.
Wow, beautiful. While reading, I was just so moved by your how you quoted your chapters and how you really break it down for persons to understand your experience on a normal base. And I applaud you for that. And I also will recommend any and everybody to this book because I was reading and I too have been in the entertainment industry. And when I read it, I could relate personally to the things that you experienced, and I would say it is really worth reading. But on your personal level, what is life like on the cruise ship, and what is it like to transition back and forth from a life on land and a life at sea over your past years?
Well, life on a cruise ship is filled with opportunities and adventures, but it's also hard work, regardless of what department you work in. But I always say, if you love what you do, then it's not work. I was blessed to have the opportunity to work in various roles in the cruise industry over the years, and to also start off as a passenger first and then transition into a crew member has taught me to appreciate absolutely everything about the cruise industry. And transitioning back and forth from a life on land and a life at sea is a challenge, but I wholeheartedly embraced it because over the years, I stayed working at sea with short-term contracts entertaining, and then returned home on land to work also entertaining and teaching. So I embraced the life of juggling two identities and two lifestyles because it gave me a sense of excitement and joy every day. And even when I'm working on land, I enjoyed escaping back to the cruise industry as a sailing passenger. I would take a vacation cruise and then weeks later join another cruise line to work. And this blessed me with the opportunity to visit over 140 ports of call and to see over 60 countries.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Wow, this is a lot of experience and a lot of countries to see. I wanted to ask you which country was your favorite, but I'm not at the place to ask that right now due to the time given. But when cruising, resumes, where are some places you would like to visit?
My next big cruise as a passenger would be to circumnavigate all of Africa. I have seen a bit of Africa, but there's a lot of places I still want to see that are also landlocked countries where cruise ships cannot dock, such as Switzerland, Bolivia, Paraguay. But I also want to visit the Middle East and the Galapagos Islands.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Such an exciting journey. Such an exciting job, I would say. Now, lastly, Lindsay, where is your book available if persons want to purchase it? And how do listeners get in touch with you?
Well, my book is available right now on multiple platforms around the world. It's available on Amazon and YouBuy, which serves over 50 countries. And if in the United States, it's available with the vendors Barnes & Nobles and Books A Million. In Canada, the vendor Chapters, Indigo's and Cole's bookstores. Australia and New Zealand, the vendors Booktopia, Dymox, Boomerang Books. Basically, any bookstore is able to order the book for you. And listeners can get in touch with me through my webpage, authorlctang.com, also available on goodreads.com. And you can also find me on Facebook under l.c.tang.
Okay, so there you have it, listeners. The Lady Lindsay Tang for you. Thank you so much, Miss Tang. You've been a great guest. And of course, we are excited about your book. I am excited. I will be reading your book all year. So thank you so much for being with us on the Lady Tracey Show. Continue to have yourself a wonderful day and continue to do the great job that you're doing out there for all our listeners and all our crew members throughout the world.
Thank you very much, Miss Lady Tracey.
All right.
Island worship, can we meet again now? Whoa, Once you finish, once you finish, say be careful what you say about me. Be careful how you persecute me. Lord, I'm your savior, him and my guide. Only him alone understand me. Yeah, don't just a book by its cover. We have to love one another. If you see me trying, please just pray for me. Watch you finish. Watch you finish. Oh Lord, you see me now, but you don't know what I'm gonna be. Watch you finish. Watch you finish, yeah. You see me now, but you don't know. Hey. Choose lead, but don't worry. Close the ear, but don't worry. I may not have what I wanna eat, but me not worry. My friends may laugh at me, but I know who provide for me, and it's God. When I look in the mirror, I see greatness in me. Yeah. Watch you finish. Oh Lord, you see me now, but you don't know what I'm gonna be. Watch you finish. Watch you finish, yeah. You see me now, but you don't know. Yeah. Separate my past from my future. Looking back, life is so much better. Jesus saved my darkness and gave me light. I know I'm not the perfect man, but I wanna walk in God's plan. In the fullness of time, you'll understand. Yeah. Finish. Watch you finish. Oh Lord, you see me now, but you don't know what I'm gonna be. Watch you finish. Watch you finish, yeah. You see me now, but you don't know. Hey. Ooh na 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 na. 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 Ooh na 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 na.
Are here with two beautiful authors over there in South Carolina, and of course we want to hear the inspiration behind their lovely books. These guys are their best-selling contributing authors of Women Who Lead in Education. We have Dr. Sheikah Houston, and we also have Tammy here with us, and we are here to hear some more of their work. So we welcome you guys to the Lady Tracey Show. How are you doing today?
Doing well, Lady Tracey. Thank you so much for having us.
It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. And I am honored to be hosting you on here and also to hear about your awesome business, Create and Educate LLC, because I noticed that this has been an educational platform for people worldwide, and we are interested in hearing about this company as well. So let me start off with Dr. Sheikah Houston. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, Lady Tracey, I am by day a middle school principal here in the States in South Carolina. I'm also the co-owner with Tammy of Create and Educate LLC, where we help entrepreneurs as well as educators with our platform as well as our educational services and products. So with our services, we are offering schools worldwide our literacy events that we have coming up. We have one coming up in May. If you visit our website, www.createandeducate.solutions, we offer virtual events where we're paired with independent authors for students to help them gain their achievement in reading. With authors, we are helping them creating some equity around helping more independent authors get their books into schools, because one thing Tammy and I have been able to do was raise the reading achievement levels in our schools in students by making sure they were able to connect to text with culturally relevant texts that were offered from great independent authors that we're partnering with.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now let's hear from the lady Tammy Taylor. How are you doing, Tammy? And can you tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lady Tracey, for having us on with you today. We're very excited to be here. As you said, I am Tammy Taylor, and as Sheikah, I am a principal of an elementary school in the United States in South Carolina, and co-owner of Create and Educate LLC. Sheikah just described in detail the services that we provide and the wonderful opportunities we have had to work with the independent authors that we have become very familiar with. And we're always interested in sharing how important that work can be for schools abroad, because those authors have very, very high quality materials, and we are so excited about being able to support them by getting them into the hands of children so that we can improve reading scores across the world.
I noticed over there in South Carolina, you guys have received a Palmetto Silver Award for academic growth. Can you just share a little bit about that?
Yes, we received that award for the growth that was able to happen for our students. So we were very proud of that, as well as the STEAM award that we received for instituting STEAM in our school. So we're very proud of the awards that our teachers and students have worked very hard for.
Thank you so much, Tammy. All right, so now let's get to the book. I see that both of you guys have written two awesome books, and you also had done one together. But let's start with Dr. Houston. You wrote Women Who Lead in Education, featuring school principals. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm one of the contributing authors to the Women Who Lead in Education, featuring school principals anthology. It was actually birthed from a vision from Dr. Sharon Porter, who invited all of the contributing authors to be a part of it. And my particular chapter is on instructional leadership, because instructional leadership is so important to the principalship. It is the one thing that could really be detrimental to the success of a principal if they don't have the knowledge that is needed to make sure that that is very effective in their building. So I just wanted to help principals with that. It was an area that I have been blessed to be able to grow in, and I just wanted to extend that same help to other principals who may be starting out or who may already, be veteran principals but still need that help in building in that area. So purchasing the book, also, you would be privy to the professional development that I offered on that from the summit. You would receive that for free.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, Principal Taylor, can you just share a little bit about your contribution in this book as well?
Yes, absolutely. Like Sheikah, I was fortunate to be invited to be a part of this anthology by Dr. Sharon Porter, who is an extraordinary visionary and had come up with a variety of topics that we could select from, that we could offer our expertise in, so that we would be a blessing to other administrators who get their hands on this incredible work that she put together. And as Shika said, the book is very helpful to leaders in any field, honestly, if you're looking to see what types of strategies are good for providing sound leadership. My particular chapter was on creating a climate and culture of excellence in your school. And that work is so important because, as Shika said, instruction is a top priority in any school that you go to, just because the way that students achieve will be how the school is viewed and how they are evaluated. And it usually feeds into whatever kind of accountability system is in place for that particular school setting. My chapter on culture and climate is so crucial, though, because in order to be able to deal with instruction and all of the other aspects of school that makes a school successful, you have to create a climate and a culture in that school for students to be able to achieve at high levels. So my chapter, as Shika said, comes with a professional development that was presented at the virtual summit that we were able to participate in March. And it is also a part of if you purchase the book, you can get access to that training. Because again, culture and climate are especially important aspects of creating a safe and environment in a school that's conducive to learning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Taylor. I am thrilled with this awesome idea, and also the fact that you guys are working as a team to do one thing, and that's to help with leaders, which leads me to the next question. The next book that you both did together, it doesn't have to be lonely at the top. Can you just give me a quick preview on this book, just so persons will know what it's all about?
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you brought up that Shika and I are doing this work together, because that's what the book, It Doesn't Have to Be Lonely at the Top, is all about. We are firm believers in the power of collaboration, and Shika and I are not just business partners, but she is who I have found to be my trust mate. That's a term that she and I have coined because it is what we needed to help us to be able to be successful in our administrative experiences. So the book is really a story of our journey through the principalship and how being collaborators together and being trustmates to one another and just being there in general to support each other through all of the adversities and successes or whatever was coming our way helped us to be who we are as leaders. And we want to show other leaders that it's important to find that trustmate so that you are not trying to go at this work alone, because the principalship can be a very lonely and isolated position, but it doesn't have to be if you find that person who can accentuate you and to help you to navigate through that process.
Thank you so much for sharing. You basically answered something I was about to say, and it's really the fact that you don't have to be alone, because it's a really, if you are standing alone. And thank you for giving us the heads up, especially as leaders in society. It's really a strong motivation, especially for our Christian community, and we thank you for the privilege. Now, lastly, where can person go to get these books, and what's the cost of the books?
The books can be purchased from our website, www.createandeducate.solutions. And I just wanted to add that even though we are speaking from the lens of being school leaders, several topics in both of the books really transcend education. So whether you are in the real estate industry, the business industry, climate and culture, equity, and several of the different topics, collaboration, all of those things really can be fitting for multiple industries. So even if you're not a school leader, the book would definitely be something that would be helpful. Right now, the Women Who Lead book is out for purchase, and we will be releasing It Doesn't Have to Be Lonely at the top in probably the next few days. So it should be listed on our website where you can purchase that very soon. It hasn't actually been pre-released yet. And the last thing I wanted to add, Lady Tracey, if it's okay, I know that you are in Jamaica, and our school does participate in an international exchange program. Mm-hmm. So we have 4 teachers that are actually from Jamaica, and they are phenomenal teachers. So the things that we have been able to learn about the Jamaican culture and just what their experiences that they have brought to our school has also been phenomenal.
Beautiful. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. And also for the opportunity to remind us that no matter what's happening in Corona or with the pandemic, we still have dedicated teachers, principals, and servants to really facilitate our children in today's society. So thank you so much for being with us, Lady Shika and Tammy. You have been a great help on our show and also to our listeners. And we're looking forward to hear some more of your work. And we're also looking forward to hear some more of what you are doing for the coming year. So continue to have a beautiful day and keep tuning in with the Lady Tracey Show.
Thank you. Thank you, lady. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Script of Virtue Collections. We sell journals, planners, children and adult books, inspirational books, educational books. Our extra service includes song blogging, music, career counseling, advertisement, promotion, graphic designing, CD covers, book covers. For more information, contact us at 1-876-546-4158 or email us at scriptofvirtuecollections@gmail.com, or you can visit us at facebook.com Script of Virtue Collections.
We are here with a very special guest. We are with the man Roderick Curtis. Roderick is a phenomenal man out of California, USA. He is indeed a book author, and he is also a football coach and a comic book creator. Now, Roderick does topics that are not so usual in today's world. He is all about the history of Egypt, I would say. But let's see what Roderick has to say about his work, the reason behind his work, and what brought him to being the author of this first book series. So we welcome you, Roderick. Welcome to the Lady Tracey Show. How are you doing?
Thank you, Lady Tracey. I'm doing well. I'm very excited. Thank you for the great introduction.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So Roderick, tell us a little bit about who you are.
I am a longtime artist and imaginateur. I think that's the best way to describe it. Very visual. I love movies. I grew up watching all the 90s cartoons of Transformers, and that genre of cartoon was very big when I was young. So I got into drawing, and for much of my childhood, I was into art. I was into drawing and reading comic books and kind of just delving and being fascinated with that world. So I also played football and sports, and those two things, don't always go together. The tough football player and the artist is not usually the normal stereotype.
Right.
But I went and played college football.
Wow.
I was good enough to play college football, but I never lost the passion for art and for comics and for animation. Mm-hmm. So I had a senior project where I did this story, Pharaoh versus Priest. This is back in 2005, where I did a student project. I was into Black history and African history, and I learned about the story of Nefertiti and Akhenaten, which is what my story is based on.
Okay.
And Yeah, so I just kind of took a historical love story and tragedy with the young death of Prince King Tut, and turned it into a fantasy world. And it's about Egypt, but I really refer to it as the Nile Valley, and it's meant to be really more of a truthfulness of how eclectic that civilization was, and what the history shows of influence from the north and the south. So it's wrapped up in a real magical world of villains and alchemy, but underneath it's a love story about Nefertiti and Akhenaten and the light that they left.
Thank you so much, Roderick. I'm very new to this, and I mean, I have my fair share of thriller, but I never knew it was this much about, Black history. And for you to really go that deep, I wanted to ask, what enticed you to really choose this specific type of, genre? Apart from the fact that you used to love all the fantasies when you were younger, but what really made you choose this type of genre? I'm asking because I want readers to know the author himself behind these work.
Well, I think, as we're always drawn to a reclamation, the diaspora, and from being Black in America, where is my connection to African history? So, learning about African history in college and seeing the art and the iconography of Nefertiti and the bust, or Atonism and Amarna period of art, really, is what I learned about. I was an art minor and a psychology major.
Awesome. I noticed that your work are very, very skeptic, but it's also unique. And are you the sole creator of all these characters?
I am the creator. I wrote all the characters. I wrote a book which is separate from the comic. I have a very talented artist who goes by the screen name, which I would love to add if there's any links that you put towards this to some of his art. A lot of it is on my Instagram, but I work with an international artist who really brought these characters to life.
Wow.
For the comic.
Thank you so much. All right. Okay, so now let's get to the business, because we see where you started an LLC, which is CB Publishing in California. Do you just want to tell us a little bit about this industry and what is the aim of it?
Yes, as a new author, I want to do this the right way, and I do plan on making more books and bringing in money, and maybe going into self-publishing myself. So I wanted to have the platform to make this a business venture that I can spend my time and make my passion work for me, and make money so I can continue to do it and make more products.
Yes, of course. And you're right. It's all about the market these days, and you have to have the product for the sales. Okay, now this leads me to ask, are you open for jobs to work for others, or this is just your product that you will be advertising through CB Publishing?
Well, I'm comics is a tough industry. It costs to make the comics, especially if you're not an artist. And there's not really a lot of return in comic sales. So really, I'm trying to build my own ecosystem with books, comics, and eventually animation. Maybe that I stream on like a YouTube. So it's really a multimedia company that's going to delve into YouTube channels and streaming animation and producing books. I found myself able to write, and I work with freelance editors and a page publishing who can keep my works on a steady.
Okay, perfect. All right. Now, if persons want your books to purchase, where can they go to get it?
Once it drops in the summer, it's going to be available on all the major sites, Amazon. If they follow my Instagram, any updates about exact release dates or I always post new art that's coming in, and just, they can kind of keep up with what's happening with me as an author. But it'll be available this summer is what is scheduled to be released.
All right, so we're looking forward to see some more of your work, Roderick, in summer of this year. Yes, indeed. And if persons want to contact you, where do we go to find Roderick Curtis?
I'm on Facebook. I really am very active on my Instagram, so I would love to kind of just give that a shout out.
Perfect. All right. So is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge just before you go?
Yes, all of my beta readers, my family that kind of followed that first Pharaoh versus Priest writing journey and gave me feedback, and my mom and my brothers who have my brothers have been with me through the idea process ever since college. I've had this idea in my mind for 10 years, and just family supporting me to say, go ahead and write it, and take a dive into it. So definitely my family, my mom, my brothers, and all my cousins and friends who have been supportive.
Awesome. So there you have it, listeners. The man Roderick Curtis over there in California, USA, or book author, and of course, or football coach, entrepreneur. Yes, and he is also a beautiful comic book creator. So if you need him, you know where to find him. Thank you for being with us, Roderick. You have been a great company, and we're looking forward to hear some more of you in this coming year. And all the best with your new release in summer of 2021.
Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative and thankful. Thank you. God bless you.
Take care now. Bye-bye. Watch this when you walk from dusk till dawn. Don't you see that Sahara and Corona gone? Why don't you go to Script of Virtue and order yourself a book? Get yourself a journal, no man. Or even get a book for your children. Their number is 876-367-7413, or you can go to their business site at scriptofvirtue.business.site. Shaman. Back in our radio interview, my people. Yes, indeed, right here on the Lady Tracey Show. And today we have a lovely guest. I am talking about the lady Meryl Burness out of New Jersey, USA. Meryl is a past educator and also a lovely author. She is here to share her book, XYZ Docu-Puzzles. She is indeed a strong and inspirational woman, and she is here to let us know the inspiration behind this new work that she has on the market. So we welcome you, Mrs. Burness. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great, thank you, and I'm so happy to have this opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you for the privilege. I have never had a puzzle before on my show, so this is kind of a unique one for my listeners. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who Meryl Burness is?
Well, I've always been a most creative educator. For 25 years, I was a teacher of middle school and also a school counselor. I've created board games. I've written children's stories. I've even co-written a play, a 3-act funny play about seniors in a 55-over community. And while I was in the 55-year-old community, where many of these seniors behave like middle school children, I also wrote I had the privilege of writing monthly XYZ Doku, all-word mystery message puzzles for the local newspaper, and I've done that for several years.
Wow. You have a lot up your sleeve, Mrs. Burness, and I am just excited to hear some more. Can you just tell us a little bit about your experience while you were also, working with the plays? That sounds like an exciting thing you had going on there for the elderly.
It was, we had, I was working, I was working at the time, but I had a friend, and the two of us sat down together, and we realized that a lot of the social interactions that happen at this 55 and over community is like interactions that happen with little children. They somehow get along in that fashion. And it turned out to be it was a comedy, and it was also it was a science fiction, and we actually put it on. It was a success, and I love doing those type of things. So I'm kind of all over with my creativity. I mean, years ago, I was also very much interested in making board games with my young children. I made an amusement park game and a Who's the Real Santa game, and now, 40 years later, I'm still playing them with my little grandchildren. As a school counselor, I had written a book called Wanda Weird Wanda, and it was about bullying. And that came along later, but still, when I was a school counselor, I was able to use this book that I wrote about this little girl who was picked on mercilessly. And at that time also, I was able to deal with their problems because from that came the making of creating word finds, and then my XYZ Doku puzzles, where they were able to do this, and it was soothing for them, and they were able to speak about their problems, and we were able to try to get rid of many of the things that were bothering them, especially things that had to do with bullying and harassment.
Beautiful. That is just so inspiring. What I love about your work is that it's not the same. You know, you do something different that you will not always see on the market. And I now would like to ask, would you say your work is for any age group? Like anyone could do these puzzles and enjoy them?
Yeah, actually, when I designed the book, and I called it the XYZ Doku Puzzles from middle school through middle age and beyond. So I guess a child by the age of 10 could do them. I have to say, and this is not bragging, I had my grandchildren doing this when they were 7 and 8 years old. So it could be done if you like word games. These are not difficult. I designed them so it's not like you're guessing. Mm-hmm. It just flows, and they're able. I leave a line open. If you know number sudokus, you're able to do this with letters. And I have a line that's empty, and then it actually is a mystery message. And of course, it's all about the coronavirus. Right. So it is educational for all ages. And once again, if a person is doing this, it is designed for relaxation. So if they get a little stumped, they could walk away for a little while, get a snack, go back, and they will be able to solve it. I've had a lot of people praise this because in the end, you're able to do it, and it's enjoyable. You don't get frustrated.
Wow, that is just awesome. Yeah, as you mentioned, it is about coronavirus, which is interesting. It's for my listeners. I just want to let you know, in case you want to search this actual one, the title is The Coronavirus Rage. All right. So, Mrs. Bernice, if person want to purchase these books, where can they go to get it, and what's the price?
Okay, well, the best bet is Amazon.com. I'm all over the internet, and if you just go to a search, you just go into search and you Google in my name, Merrill Burness, or XYZ Doku Puzzles, it'll come up all over the place. Once again, in Amazon, it's paperback and Kindle. The paperback is $9.49. $9.49 U.S. money, and Kindle is $3.50. It's also found, and I'm in Barnes and Noble, Walmart.com, Books A Million, and also local stores worldwide.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I personally just want to congratulate you for the awesome work for 25 years, not just as a teacher, but as a counselor, as your work can definitely show the counseling background of your nature. And I believe you're an impact to many. Now, finally, one last question, Mrs. Bernice. I notice you're married for 50 years, which leads me to want to ask, who would you want to acknowledge for all these beautiful inspiration and support that you've been getting throughout the entire journey?
Well, of course, I want to give a shout out to my most loving and supportive husband, Lenny, my awesome children, and my 8 wonderful, intelligent, and also creative grandchildren. And like I said, many of them who have been doing my puzzle since they were only 7 and 8. Love you all so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bernice. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our very own educator, former educator, and of course, our now author of the lovely work, XYZ Doku puzzles, and she is from New Jersey, and she was here to bless us with all that she has for this year.
It's your boy JVS, featuring the boy Brian the Mensa.
It's the grace of God. Me call ya, me buy ya, baby, ya bucko, bucko. Hey, you want to more? Me call ya, me buy ya, wadu. Hey, you want to more? Wadu, 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 wadu. Hey, you want to more? Me call ya, me buy ya, wadu. Hey, you want to more? Baby, I'm a bakery, I want to ya. And them out they bring me to make it. We say, why don't you my enshira? Why don't you my enshira? Yeah, why ideas I said that? It's an amendment, some I didn't couldn't. Or come from the cars, I'm a side that I don't know, so I buy and no trouble to me. If you say I come for sound so you know what to sell, you're my downfall. When I make a fool, me say I come for sound so you know what to sell, you're my downfall. When I make a fool, me say, why do maintain? I'm a dinner, hey, why do maintain? I'm a tea, I say, why do maintain? Hey, why do maintain? I'm in the break. Me call ya, me buy ya, baby, ya pep, it's the grace of God. Me call ya, me buy ya, baby, ya bucko, bucko. Hey, why do more? Me call ya, me buy ya, why do? Hey, why do more? Why do? Hey, why do more? Me call ya, me buy ya, why do? Hey, why do more?
By the grace of God that I'm here right now.
Sad to say, but we have to go. We have come down to the end of today's show. Thank you so much, my beautiful guest over there in USA, UK, yes, indeed, and Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You have all been a great company. Thank you so much, my listeners. Without you, it would not have been possible. Today's show was sponsored by Script of Virtue Collections. If you need your books, planners, song blogging, career counseling, find them, journals, books, planners, find them. Their number is 876-367-7413, or you can go to their website at scriptofvirtue.business.site. I have been your host for today, Lady Tracey, aka Tracey Williams. Thank you so much, Unity Live team. Continue to have yourself a wonderful day, and remember, no matter what you do, keep doing self-discipline. It's all about self-love, and of course, remembering that the greatest of all is love. Yes. Walk good now.